how would we recognize somebody who might be in a trauma situation or an addiction situation? Are there signs that we should watch for?
Um, well, there's repetitive behaviors, and especially when we see people, the behaviors they're presenting, the symptoms they are presenting are either harmful, or they deteriorating. There's some constant sort of regrets is a big one as well. Or even if they express they feel shameful that they did that. And guilt is a big thing, especially in trauma when yeah, taking the things that has happened in the past, taking that on board and saying, oh, it was probably all my fault and I shouldn't have done that. And this is really something I would, yeah, I would look out for. Even if you when you hang out at the Barbie with friends and they talk about, and gosh, I'm feeling overly anxious. I don't know why. I want to stop that. Sometimes people express really interesting things that, well, eating, that's another thing that they say, oh gosh, I had this, tub of ice cream and I was devouring it completely. I don't even know why, and now I'm regretting it. These are all little signs and symptoms of what's going on. I would always question. It's not what you do, but it's why you are doing it. Why is this happening? And it's happening on an unconscious level. Because when you had that tub of ice cream, in that situation, in that moment, you didn't think, oh, okay, let me think about, so I'm eating this ice cream now, and why am I doing it? You
Yeah.
do not do that consciously. There's some urge, something your nervous system is giving you signals. You need that. It's that either survival response or whatever is coming up underneath the surface. And this is those are little signs. And of course when people express it openly and say, well, I keep drinking that glass of wine, that bottle of wine every night, and I feel like I can't stop it. I don't know why.
Mm.
So these are all these little, little, if it comes to alcohol, is probably a big sign
Yeah.
to, yeah, any moment where you find yourself not being able to stop and then regrets coming later, or you have physical symptoms already,
Mhm.
then, yeah, that's always question, okay, where is that coming from? Why am I doing it? Why am I self-sabotaging myself?
So I think
Yeah.
things like alcohol and drugs, those seem like addictions that we kind of know to look for or
Mm.
kind of have. Is there any type of addictions that are kind of sneak in?
Um, Toxic relationships is
Oh.
something as well to there could be that little bit of, yeah, story behind it,
Mhm.
attracting people into our lives that suck all the energy out of us or harm us emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, in any way. Where I think, oh, I don't feel this doesn't feel right, but
Mhm.
you can't put your finger on, and it's that repeating, yeah, loop that's
Yeah.
constantly going on. And yeah, even when you get out of a relationship and I think that was really, yeah, no good. They didn't respect me, they didn't love me, they didn't support me, whatever it was. And then bang, you're thinking back, and there's another relationship, and you think, hold on, I've been there before.
Mhm.
What's going on here? So that is certainly one thing that's sort of quite often sneaking up on people, and they realizing through over the years that looking back, I think I've been from one toxic relationship to another,
I keep
or
doing
even
this.
yes, and keep doing it. And I was like, hold on a second, what's happening here? Or even just jumping, even if it's not a toxic relationship, but going from one relationship to another and seeking certain people out unconsciously, unwittingly. That's yeah, those are the little things that could sneak in without being consciously aware of.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, there are certain things that um, there's that mindfulness part we now I do talk about and teach people to become more mindful. What is to raise that awareness? What is going on in life really? What does it feel like? Is that really aligned with who I am? We are so surrounded by a lot of noise, and but coming to those still being present moments where you suddenly realize what's going on here. I feel very differently to all the other things that is around me. People tell me I should do, I shouldn't do, I should be in my life like that. All these things we've been taught and preconditioned. But checking in with yourself in still moments where you are not surrounded by that noise, you start listening and become aware of, I value different things. This is not really what I believe in.
Yeah.
And yeah, so little things like that can become bigger and bigger. Our body and nervous system is such a clever thing, but we got to start listening to the messages that we get sent. So yeah, and those are the things talk to people about and establish, observe, and explore what is going on. It is a bit of a discovery and a bit of a journey we all realize in our life.
I'm sure that people who are in these types of situations are going to be kind of defensive. Is there a way to approach them and to like say, hey, maybe you should give Yvonne a call?
Yes. Well, certainly the thing with defense. So defense is another trauma response, and this is another mechanism, another adaptation we have learned to certain experiences in the past. And I always say to people, yes, we can point them into the right direction. And I'm here to hold your hands, to support you. And I can certainly open the door. But at the end of the day, you do the walking. I cannot make the horse drink. And if people got to come to that realization, something is off, something I want to change. I don't know how, but I feel this cannot go on forever and a day. This will really affect my life, my health, my relationships, my work, my business. So this is really a realization and a journey everyone does for themselves. And you can say, hey, is there something you need help with, you need support with? It's okay to be defensive. It is a response. But I would always question, how is that helping you in your life? How is that helping you to move forward, to live your life to your fullest potential, peaceful, loving, joyful life? Are you really living that? Or do you feel angry all the time, ashamed, guilt, sadness? Whatever emotions are coming up in a negative, low vibrational sense, and just get them to question what is going on. And of course, if someone is completely on, oh, it's all rubbish what you're saying, I'm fine. They eventually, if the time is right and it's meant to be, they will wake up and feel. I think I'm kidding myself here. This is I'm not okay. But you can't force people. So it has to come from them. And I do see that a few times before. I have seen it in the past that especially younger people in their 20s and say, oh, my family said I should see someone and should get some help. And I say, well, I always ask, what do you see? What do you want? How would you describe your life? And yes, quite often I say, oh yeah, I've been doing silly things and bit rebellious and, whatever comes up. And then we can go from there. But at the end of the day, I can only open the door. I cannot do the walking.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
Well, my favorite quote is it's Dr. John DeMartini said it. Be the master of your destiny, not the victim of your history. You can be the circuit breaker. And if you need help and support, there are people out there who do amazing work. Seek help.
Oh, great. All right. Well, Giant Builders, we're going to put Yvonne's contact information below. So if you know a family member or a friend who might have an addiction, you might share this podcast with them. So
Thank you so much for
Yvonne.
having me.
Oh, yes. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. This has been The Giant Builders with Lois Wyant.